Who is Warren Buffett? Do you believe him? Subscribe to the channel, and let's listen to the new show and rate in the comments and at the end. I'm surprised at how much he is immersed in business statistics and his personal habits.
I don't know what I paid for this type. Actually, probably if somebody gave it to me, but for the purposes of this speech, I will say I have no idea. But or the shirt I'm wearing, or this, but I do know. I will remember how I was treated when I bought it. I mean, you long forget about the price, but you never forget whether you had a good experience or a poor experience with the purchase experience. And you'll have a hard time finding a person that's had a wonderful experience, a delighted experience in purchasing anything that isn't going to come back. And similarly, if the memory is of rudeness, indifference, whatever it may be, they're never going to come back. And as a small business owner, and as you grow, you have to not only be able to project that interest in people's well-being, in delighting them yourself, but you have to do it through other people. And you won't be able to do it through people who themselves do not feel they're being fairly treated, that their views aren't appropriately considered. So you really do have to learn to multiply yourself through other people. And I advise the young people that come to Omaha. We have a number of classes. The key is to certainly, in terms of your personal life, the most important decision you'll make is the spouse that most of you will likely have. And it's very important to surround yourself with people that are better than you are. You are going to move in the direction of the people you associate with. So you constantly. I've been enormously lucky in that respect. I mean, I've just had teachers and friends and a spouse that really was a better person than I was, and I had enough sense to learn from these people that life went better if you behaved better yourself. It took a while. So I advise you to seek out, as your partner in business, your partner in life, whatever it may be, look for the people that actually are examples to you, rather than somebody that you think you need to straighten out yourself. And simple rules like that, delighting customers, working through other people, associating with people that will cause you to move in a better path than you might otherwise have, they will take you so far in life that it's hard to believe. I mean, they took Rose Blumpkin without being able to speak a word of English, and couldn't read or write, and they took her to what is now a $1.5 billion business. And incidentally, there's been no money put in it since the $2,500. That's been the total capital paid into the Nebraska Furniture Mart. And I think if you looked at Enterprise, I don't know their books the same way, but my guess is that very little equity capital has been added to Enterprise over the years. The business built on itself. So I want to tell you, I admire this group enormously. When I met Dr. Mello's class on September 22nd, 8 years ago, I was thrilled. And I admire people that are doing what you have done. Working hard at your job, at the same time, you took on an added really a lot of hard work to further your skills. 99% graduate. I mean, that's a mind-blowing statistic. And I'm looking at
This interesting video of Warren Buffett's speech makes a lot of things very clear. Let's go through it and evaluate it. Business tycoon, consistently among the richest people on the planet. Head of the investment and financial holding Berkshire Hathaway. Author of textbooks on the principles of capital investment, philanthropist. In 2010, he launched an unprecedented initiative. He called on global business leaders to take the so-called giving pledge, i.e., to sign a pledge that they would spend more than half of their income on charity. In 2016, the number of signatories reached 154. In 2015, Warren was third in the ranking of billionaires according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, behind only Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and the owner of clothing manufacturer Inditex, Amancio Ortega. Only in the first 6 months of 2016, his fortune grew by $2.7 billion and was estimated at $65 billion against 89 Gates and 73 Ortega, and the amount of donations to philanthropic organizations, primarily to the foundation founded by Bill and Melinda Gates, amounted to $2.9 billion. The talented entrepreneur and intellectual, who has a remarkable intuition and even received the ironic nickname Oracle, is known for his commitment to long-term investments and personal frugality. As for his political preferences, he actively supported and sponsored Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton during the 2016 presidential election campaign. The future legendary investor was born on August 30, 1930 in Omaha, Nebraska, in the family of a stock trader, later a congressman, and a housewife, formerly a photo model. The couple had 2 other daughters, Doris, the eldest, and Roberta, the youngest child in the family. His father's profession influenced his son's passion for finance. Already at the age of 6, he surprised his parents with his cleverness. He bought several cans of Coca-Cola and sold them to the household twice the price. When he was 11, he and his sister combined their savings and bought 3 shares of the city's service company, which supplied gas to city houses. Their price first dropped, making him worried, and then rose from $38 to $40. At this point, Warren hurriedly sold the shares and made a small profit, but soon regretted it bitterly because later the value of the securities increased 5 times. This experience forced him to be more balanced, not to be in a hurry, and always give preference to long-term investments. When his father passed to Congress in 1942, the Buffetts moved to the U.S. Capitol. In Washington, Warren continued his schooling. He did not abandon his business experiments. At first, the boy became a peddler, Washington Post, and for a year accumulated $1,200. He spent it to buy a plot of land of 40 acres, about 16 hectares, which he began to lease to farmers. At the age of 15, the young entrepreneur invested $75 with a friend to buy 3 used pinball machines and installed them in barber shops. Shortly thereafter, the teenager announced to his family his intention to become a millionaire by the age of 30. Looking ahead, we note that his prediction was fulfilled almost on time. At the age of 31, he became the owner of a $1 million fortune. At the insistence of his parents in 1947, the young man entered the financial school of the University of Pennsylvania. He himself would have preferred to focus on his business projects and not spend time on studies, but his father convinced him of the need for a decent education. At the insistence of his parents in 1947, the young man entered the School of Finance at the University of Pennsylvania. He himself would have preferred to concentrate on his business projects and not spend time on studies, but his father convinced him of the need for a decent education. After his father left Congress in 1948, the family returned to his hometown, and the young man transferred to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where in 1949 he received an academic bachelor's degree in business administration. Then there was an unsuccessful attempt to continue his studies at Harvard, after which the future billionaire safely became a student at Columbia Business School, where at that time taught the famous economist Benjamin Graham, the originator of the concept of value investing. What do you think about it? Like and subscribe to the channel.